As we approach America's 250th anniversary this weekend, it's worth remembering that the story of this nation has always depended on leaders who were willing to do what was right, even when it wasn't popular. Most Americans today would struggle to name even one major accomplishment of Benjamin Harrison. Yet during his single term in office, he signed the first major federal antitrust law in American history. He dramatically expanded the United States Navy, and he admitted 6 new states into the Union. And he also laid early groundwork for what would later become the National Forest System. He was the grandson of a president. He was a Civil War general and a man known for his personal integrity. But he was also seen as cold, rigid, and politically tone-deaf. A man who often did what he believed was right, even when it cost him politically. This is the story of Benjamin Harrison, a president who accomplished more than most people realize, yet whose legacy was largely faded from memory. Welcome to Faith and Freedom, the presidents who built America. Benjamin Harrison was born in 1833 in North Bend, Ohio, into America's most prominent political family. His grandfather, William Henry Harrison, had been the 9th president of the United States, though he died just 1 month into his term. And his great-grandfather had signed the Declaration of Independence. Harrison studied law, and he moved to Indianapolis, Indiana, where he built a successful legal practice. When the Civil War broke out, he helped raise a regiment and eventually rose to the rank of brigadier general. In the war, he saw combat and earned a reputation for courage under fire. After the war, Harrison returned to Indiana and became active in Republican politics. He was known as a powerful orator and a man of strong moral convictions. In 1888, he won the Republican nomination for president and narrowly defeated the incumbent Grover Cleveland in one of the most contentious elections of the era. One of Harrison's most significant achievements was signing the Sherman Antitrust Act in 1890. This was the first federal law designed to prevent monopolies and restrain power of large corporations. During the Gilded Age, powerful trusts and monopolies dominated entire industries, crushing competition and exploiting its workers. Harrison believed that unchecked corporate power threatened both economic fairness and political liberty. Though the Sherman Act was not aggressively enforced during his presidency, it established the legal foundation for future antitrust efforts, including those under Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson. Harrison continued and accelerated the modernization of the United States Navy. Under his administration, Congress authorized the construction of several new steel warships, including battleships. This built upon the work of previous presidents and helped transform the U.S. Navy from a relatively weak coastal defense force into a growing blue water navy. Harrison understood that America's growing economic interests around the world required a stronger naval presence. His support for naval expansion laid important groundwork for America's emergence as a global power in the 20th century. During Harrison's presidency, 6 new states were admitted into the Union in rapid succession. They were North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Washington, Idaho, and Wyoming. This was the largest single addition of the states since the original 13 colonies. Harrison supported westward expansion and believed that these territories were ready for statehood. The addition of these 6 states significantly increased the size and political influence on the American West. And it was a powerful reminder that the American experiment was still growing, that the Republic could continue to expand while remaining committed to liberty and self-government. In 1891, Harrison signed the Forest Reserve Act, which gave the president the authority to set aside public lands as forest reserves. This was one of the earliest federal conservation efforts in American history. Although Harrison did not create a large number of reserves himself, the law he signed laid the foundation for the national forest system that would later be greatly expanded by Theodore Roosevelt. It marked an important shift toward federal responsibility for the protection of natural resources. Benjamin Harrison was a devout Presbyterian, and he took his faith very seriously. He was known for his personal integrity and moral seriousness. Unlike many politicians of his era, he was generally seen as honest and unwilling to engage in the more corrupt practices common at the time. However, Harrison was often criticized for being cold, distant, and lacking in personal warmth. He was a formal and reserved man who struggled to connect with voters on the personal level. This stiffness hurt him politically, especially compared to more charismatic figures like Grover Cleveland. Despite his personal shortcomings, the closest to him described a man of deep conviction who genuinely tried to do what he believed was right, even when it was unpopular. Benjamin Harrison's presidency offers a useful reminder that accomplishment and popularity are not always the same thing. Harrison signed important legislation, and he expanded the role of the federal government in ways that would have long-term consequences, both good and bad. Yet he is largely forgotten today, in part because he lacked personal charisma and political skill to build a lasting public legacy. And his story challenges us to consider what kind of leadership we actually value. Do we reward leaders who accomplish difficult things even when it's unpopular? Or do we primarily reward those who are skilled at winning affection and managing public perception? Harrison also shows us that integrity alone is not enough to lead effectively. Character matters, but so does the ability to communicate vision and build coalitions. Benjamin Harrison was a man of principle who accomplished more during a single term than many presidents who had served longer. He signed the first major antitrust law. He expanded the Navy. He admitted 6 new states into the Union, and he took early steps toward conservation. Yet he remains one of America's most overlooked presidents. His story reminds us that doing the right thing does not always lead to public recognition, and that history sometimes forgets those who served with integrity but lacked the ability to inspire affection. As we celebrate America's 250th anniversary this weekend, Harrison's presidency reminds us that the story of the nation has always depended on leaders who were willing to put principle above popularity. He was not a perfect man, and he is largely forgotten today. But during his time in office, he helped shape this country that we now celebrate, a country that has grown from 13 small colonies into 50 beautiful states that are still striving, however imperfectly, to live up to its founding ideals. I want to thank you for watching Faith and Freedom, the presidents who built America. If this story encouraged you, please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who appreciates American history. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. I wish you a happy Independence Day. Bye for now.
3, 2, 1. Talk to me.